Welcome, friends,
to the How-To Heretic.
I'm Uncle Mark.
And I'm Uncle Dan.
And I'm Uncle Doug.
And this is your user's guide to life on the outside.
That's right. Leaving religion is the first step into a larger, better world.
But it can also be a scary world. Things work differently now.
Never fear. That's why we're here.
We're your audio uncles. And with help from good friends and experts in all sorts of fields,
we're going to share the stories and seek the knowledge to build a great life.
After all, you only get one that we know of, so you'd better make the most of it.
gentle uncles.
Here we are.
Yes, don't all speak at once.
We already
Here
did.
we are.
It's too late.
We are transcontinental, binational, all the things.
Yes, indeed.
Dan, you are back from an extended sea voyage.
Yes, I was a mariner.
Yes, you were a stevedore on the poop deck.
I think you were a seaman.
Yes,
I might have been.
You were a seaman, and so we're glad you made it round the Cape of Good Hope. But here we are, episode 85. Woo. It's a miracle we've made it this far.
Yeah.
And so we hope to continue. And I think you guys, I was a little behind the thing this week, so you guys have prepared the segments.
Yeah, I'm going to start us off by talking about something really stupid that some early Mormons did.
We like to talk about a lot of stupid stuff.
It's a deep well.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about some stupid stuff that somebody did and nobody knows who.
And then, since I'm the only one who works around here, I'm also going to talk about some stupid shit somebody said in the Bible.
Yay!
Rude.
So, yeah, we got a lot of good show coming up. Let's bite into it.
So stick around. Don't be shy. No questions will be asked, and none will be answered. So let's move on.
Hey, Uncle Mark.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Have you ever had the impulse, as you
Yes.
were, have you ever
Oh, you got to be more specific.
Yes, you've had some impulses. I know
Yes.
that. You have impulse control problems. But have you ever had the impulse when you're, like, reading a thing to go, this is too easy?
Never.
This is just...
Never, ever.
This makes too much sense.
Is there a way we can make this harder and for no reason?
Is there a way in attempting to make this easier we can make it impossibly insane?
Well, I think Uncle Doug can step in and help us out with this.
Doug, do you have a cure for what doesn't ail us?
I indeed do. And we're going to talk about something Mormon. Yay! Finally. As we have covered many times on this show,
Yes.
Mormons believe that they are a kingdom unto themselves. This was never truer than in that brief period of time when they were quite literally a kingdom unto themselves.
Yes.
In the very brief period of time between the Mormons settling the Salt Lake Valley in July of 1847, which at the time belonged to Mexico, and the treaty...
it belonged to some Utes and Goshoots, but that's, I guess, neither here nor
let's
nor
not
there.
quibble over who killed who. And then between the settling of Salt Lake Valley, excuse me, and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo,
Sure.
a mere 7 months later, which ended the Mexican-American War and ceded what would become Utah to the United States, which the Mormons had just crossed the Great Plains to get away from.
Right, yeah, and then, they left the U.S., and then the U.S. attacked and took them over.
U.S. lapped them.
Yeah.
And then Plymouth Rock landed the fuck back on them. Right? So what was that time span? It was literally like 2 years, wasn't it?
No, between
less than a year.
Yeah, between them settling in 1847 and the Treaty of Hidalgo, it was 7 months.
Oh my God.
But it took years for anything to really come of that, but on
Right.
paper it's laughable.
That is pretty hilarious.
Further complicating the vision of an inland sovereign kingdom, gold was discovered in California.
Gold!
Causing the California...
Sorry, it's just my natural instincts kick in.
Was that you or was that Methuselah at the Creation Museum?
That was
It's hard to tell. This caused the California gold rush of 1849, drawing over 300,000 people to California,
Jesus.
many of whom would travel right through what Brigham Young had dubbed the state of Deseret. By the way, the word Deseret being derived from the Book of Mormon, meaning honeybee,
Yes.
in what was purported to be the uncorrupted pre-Tower of Babel language.
By the way,
Ooh.
did you say Book of Mormon like Kermit the Frog? Mormon. You just went the Book of Mormon.
Why are there so many?
Stop it. Let's please get back on track.
So you may ask yourself, why was an untranslated word in the translated Book of Mormon along with its translated definition? The answer, of course, is
It was because it was in a lion. There were bees in the lion.
That's right.
And a lion bee is called a deseret.
It's
a
just
lion
maths.
bee or a lion bee.
Yeah, exactly.
This is incidentally why the state symbol of Utah is a beehive.
It is indeed.
So the ambition of the dream of an independent inland empire was matched only by the speed with which it disappeared. However, in that brief period, oh, the hubristic dreams of those early Mormons.
Oh, yes.
And although early Mormon leaders very quickly realized that westward expansion would eventually overtake them, for several years they implemented a veritable cornucopia of economic, social, educational, and urban planning initiatives. They had their own militia.
Otherwise known as flops.
Yeah, exactly. A whole bunch of bad ideas.
The only thing they have in common is that they all failed. They had their own...
Not Salt Lake's grid road system.
Oh, God.
That actually works.
I like the grid system. It's just that we have the largest city blocks on the planet,
That's right.
and there's just no point to it, and it's terrible. But other than that, yeah, we got a good grid.
Thanks for the grid, Brigham. So the early Mormons had their own militia, currency, banking system, and, of course, their own views on marriage, which make their current views on marriage not just bigoted, but hypocritical to boot.
Yeah.
It's one of those insane, hubristic, and ultimately doomed ideas that I would like to talk about today. Today we will be discussing the Deseret alphabet.
Yes.
Yay!
This is one of those things that Mormons know a little bit about, ex-Mormons know a lot about, and non-Mormons have never heard of.
Never heard of, yeah.
Now, mind you, I would venture to say most Mormons have never heard of this.
Probably.
Most practicing Mormons have no idea about this.
Yeah, and the ones that do probably are listening to this show.
Right.
So the Deseret alphabet was started right after the Mormons settled in Salt Lake in 1847, and it continued until its completion, or at least the first version of its completion in 1854. Although several prominent early Mormons were involved in its creation, it largely was attributed to our dear brother Brigham. It's what's called a phonemic English language spelling reform. Basically, it was an attempt by Brigham and his posse to make English easier to learn for children and non-English speakers, which the Mormons expected would start flooding in from Europe to the east and Indian country to the west.
Yeah, which they had a lot of Europeans coming in to join the Mormons.
Yep.
So it was reasonable to expect that. What isn't reasonable is for a bunch of non-linguistic people to think that they can come up with a new version of how language works.
Exactly.
Well,
Again,
once you think that you're actually a prophet of God, you have a slightly inflated sense of your capabilities, right?
Hey, why can't you do everything?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, and of the many stupid things that Brigham Young did in his life, this was one of them. But it at least wasn't nefariously backed. It wasn't like it was an actual attempt to solve a real world problem.
Yeah.
Right. It was not motivated by evil, which literally might be the only thing he ever did.
That's right.
That wasn't motivated by evil.
And you know, let's be honest, English as a spoken and written language is a fucking mess.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
If the sentence structure is confusing, the tenses are confusing, spelling is a nightmare.
Yeah.
For example, through, bow, and rough all end in O-U-G-H,
right,
but don't sound remotely the same.
Right.
Pluralization is a mess.
Yeah.
One goose, two geese.
Yeah.
One moose, two mooses. Or one mouse, two mice. One house, two houses.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Right.
So
yeah, I pity anyone who learned English as a second language. Like English is correct as the first language because, like, you know, you're young and you don't know any better and you have to learn it. But like, once none of it makes any sense.
well, if it wasn't for spell check, I think we would all be living in the jungle at this point.
Comb, bomb, and tomb. They
Exactly.
all come on.
Exactly. So another reason is said to be the desire to code Mormon literature and correspondence to make it harder for outsiders to understand.
Oh, well, there may have been that.
There may have been that. After all, war with the U.S. was a real possibility at the time. And while this may have been the case, it would have only fooled the laziest and most unconcerned outsider, as although it's not a one-to-one replacement of the Latin alphabet, it's pretty close.
Okay.
The Zodiac cipher this was not.
Right.
So The alphabet originally consisted of 38 letters, which would kind of morph into 40.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you need more letters?
Well,
because let me tell you something. I have studied phonetics because in my actor training, I had to learn the International Phonetic Alphabet. And English you don't need. I mean, you need. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
Well, so each letter is assigned a syllabic value, and when written down alone, it has that value as its name. And that name sometimes is a small word, like the.
Oh.
It's the name of this letter is the.
Okay.
But when it's in a word, it loses that value and becomes part of a word. Like W doesn't, when you see W in a word,
right.
It's W instead of W, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, woo, ye, ha, pee, gee, etc. And Uncle Mark would definitely want me to mention that the sound for gay looks like
an ass with Hitler's haircut. It's true.
A circumcised penis.
No, it looks to me it looks like a buttock with kind of a swooping Hitlerian haircut.
It really does.
And it's the only Deseret alphabet sound I know, and I'm taking it to my grave, motherfuckers.
So they weren't going for just a single sound, like a single unit sound,
right?
Like t or p,
right?
Or e.
It was more expansive than that. Yeah,
it was.
The wee, who, wah.
So it was, so you'd need, to properly do that, you would need hundreds of combinations.
Well, that's the idea, yes.
Technically.
But so they were trying to do many things
But they're
at once.
idiots, so of course they only needed 40, of course.
Right. So anyway, upon its completion and attempted dissemination, Brigham, in his typical humble way, said, quote, "The advantages of this alphabet will soon be realized, especially by foreigners. It will also be very advantageous to our children. It will be the means of introducing uniformity to our orthography, and the years that are now required to learn to read and to spell can be devoted to other studies."
Oh,
right on,
nice.
Brigham. Yes. So church leaders tried hard to get this alphabet into circulation, but it had its problems. Firstly, nobody cared. Secondly, many early Mormons were barely literate in English. Asking them to learn was primarily a structural meditation on English sentence construction, spelling, and tense makeup was asking a bit much, and also it was stupid. It was meant to solve several problems at once. It tried to eliminate the many spelling and tense complexities of the English language. It was devoid of ascenders and descenders, which are the little squiggly parts of lowercase letters that extend up and down. Right. Think of a lowercase b or a g, which was supposed to save money in the printing of materials.
Wait,
and it was supposed to extend because it would extend the life of metal typeface.
Wait. So there's no upper and lower tense?
There's no upper and lower cases. The uppercase of any character in the Deseret alphabet is just bigger.
It's just a bigger version.
It's just a bigger version of it.
Oh my God, that's so dumb.
By the way, I just pulled up an image of the Deseret alphabet.
Yeah, and I would encourage the listeners to do so. There are many.
And N is sort of this backwards lightning-shaped N.
Yeah.
But you put two of them together, and it looks very much like the Nazi SS on the uniforms and stuff. That's kind of spooky.
Well, it's nothing if not a Rorschach test for whatever sick shit is going on in somebody's head. I mean, that's obviously the case, right?
Well, that's true. Because when I looked at your gay symbol, all I saw was like elephants facing away from me.
It also is a big elephant, yes. So for an alphabet that was made up by a group of guys in a room, one glaring fuck-up was the fact that they didn't include a symbol for the schwa.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to explain how big a mistake that was, but I have never fully understood the schwa, except that my teachers talked about it a lot in elementary school.
Schwa is just
It's a
It's just
right.
So it's like if you say the animal, then you've got an E at the end of the. But if you say the mountain, the in the is a schwa.
There you go. You got that, everybody?
Everybody on board?
Schwas.
There will be a test.
This has been schwa talk.
So there was a cursive and block version of this alphabet.
I'm going to Google that fucking thing. I'm going to see if there's schwa talk. I'll bet there's
schwa
a podcast.
Talk. Okay.
It'll be our new one.
Talk.
There was a cursive and block version of this alphabet. Cursive being helpful when you're using a fountain pen, not to have to lift it off the paper.
Right.
And when you were in a hurry because you were dying of scurvy. The block letters were meant for the printing press.
Right.
The church did spend some money on typeface, but the alphabet kept changing. and it was estimated that it would cost millions of dollars to reprint all church literature and educational materials. That is probably the biggest reason for its failure. Also, it was stupid. So some devout Mormons gave it a go. Some learned the alphabet enough to write their journals and correspondences in it. Some shopkeepers repainted their signs in it.
Oh, wow.
And a few fanatics even translated the scriptures and other books into it.
Oh.
It was even taught at some schools, but mostly it was a huge and obvious flop. It died fully with Brigham Young when he died in 1877, but it had long since been practically abandoned. So,
except it hadn't been. It had been printed onto it had been stamped onto the money that they printed.
Yeah, it was on currency. Yeah. They tried. They gave it a shot.
Well, and I guess I just gave away the game that the Mormons also printed and stamped their own coins.
That's right.
Of money.
That's right.
They had their own thing. Which, by the way, shout out to Tucker who gave us some replicas of those.
We have
coins.
some replicas of that there money.
Yeah, and it actually explained a lot of those the utter thievery of Brigham Young personally and the church institutionally in taking people's gold and issuing basically issuing basically worthless money to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worthless scripts, like irregularly cut out.
Right, yeah, just a scrap of paper that says, this guy gave me $25.
Yeah, exactly.
But a
scrap of paper you would tie to a raven in Game of Thrones.
Or a seagull in Game of Brigham. But if you're interested in the Deseret alphabet and you go to, and one strange afternoon, go up to the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers Museum on at the top of Main Street in Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
and they have a Book of Mormon that was entirely printed in the Deseret alphabet. Can you imagine the labor of love that it was?
Yeah. It's bad enough written in its faux 17th century English.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Now I've got to read it in the Deseret alphabet.
Yeah.
So, for former Mormons, the Deseret alphabet is one of those things that is a source of hilarity, derision, and for some reason, a modicum of pride. I don't know.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it's not exotic. Most of the letters look like symbols from higher math or the Cyrillic alphabet.
Yeah.
But most of us know it when we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you generally see it in ex-Mormon websites or literature, and on the occasional tattoo.
That's true. I know. I have a friend who has a tattoo with it on it.
And, Mormons don't really have any issue talking about it, but they don't catch them bringing it up very often. However, former Mormons fucking love it, myself included.
Yeah, I love it. And it's the Mormons don't ever like to talk about, stuff we'll talk about another time, like the United Order and the Deseret alphabet, because they don't like to talk about the failures.
Right.
But to me, it's part and parcel with so many 19th century utopian ideas, right?
Yeah.
Mormonism was just one of a baker's dozen of these kind of sects that exploded in the early and mid 19th century, and they all were about, they all had these crazy ideas about the perfect society. And so creating your own alphabet is absolutely, on point.
It was a time of ideas, It was,
Well, and not only that, it was a time. It was a time of ideas, but also a time of trying to separate themselves. They were trying to create a kingdom. They were trying to create their own universe.
That's right.
And eventually,
and for
Marvel
7
and
months
DC
they succeeded.
For 7 glorious months.
There are plenty of Deseret alphabet translators online, and listeners should go and give it a shot. I can guarantee you minutes of fun.
Yes. Uncle Doug, or you sent me and Mark a text
in that alphabet,
which I didn't even know you could do.
Yeah,
because you didn't send an image. You said it. Apparently, the phones understand this alphabet.
I copied and pasted.
Don't know how that works, but I looked down at it and I was like, am I having a stroke? I can't read this. It looks a little like Korean, but I know it's not, and a little like Cyrillic, but I know it's not.
Right. Well, and that's a great description.
You should have read it with your spirit eyes.
And that's the key.
So, on a very bizarre side note, the Deseret alphabet was adopted for a time by the micronation of Molossia.
What?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Am I? Does anyone know?
Sounds right.
What are you talking about?
Molossia, which is an independent, quote-unquote, nation consisting of 6 acres in Nevada. So this guy founded this nation of Molossia. It's clearly a joke, but for a laugh, go look up Molossia online. The head of state, His Excellency President Kevin Baugh, appears in several pictures in typical tin pot dictator garb, complete with a military hat, sunglasses, sash, and a chest full of medals.
Yep, there he is. I see him. He is the Mayor McCheese of the high Nevada desert.
Yeah,
I love it.
And there's no relationship between Molossia and the Deseret alphabet aside from the fact that they're both made up.
Yeah.
President Bao just wanted... this is a perfect example of why English is a shit language. Is it Bao? Ba?
I don't know.
Just wanted his signage to look a bit more foreign. So
I love it.
And basically, it is a nation of tough sheds, by the looks of it, done up as rock shops and places to buy fudge.
Well, there you go.
Well, and I figure, Joseph made up a whole book of history.
Yeah.
So Brigham felt like he needed to make up his own alphabet. So he did.
There you go.
So died with him.
The Deseret alphabet died as it lived, being stupid.
Well, thanks, Uncle Doug. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Uncle Doug.
Hello.
As always, you're headed south.
Yeah.
And you're headed south, and you run to the platform, but you miss that train. You know what I mean? You miss that midnight train to Georgia.
You know why?
Again and again.
I had something on my mind.
You had something else on your mind. So I don't know. I don't know how to get you there. I don't know how to get you where you're going.
Fellas, let me just step in here. Because if you're lucky...
Uncle Dan, is that you?
Yes, it is. Yes. Hi, it's me, everybody.
With
Uncle
the solution
Dan.
to our problem.
Yes, indeed. You need to get to Georgia. And let's just say that you need to get to the most bullshit part of Georgia next to literally nothing.
Point of order.
Yes.
That's the entire state of Georgia.
No.
Take that, Georgian listeners.
I said the most bullshit part.
Oh.
We're talking pointless, completely pointless piece of ground.
Home of no illusions.
That's right.
Valdosta, Georgia.
Nope. Jump onto Highway 77, tootle into Elbert County, and there, off the side of the road, in the middle of a cow pasture atop a hill, you may see...
the state capital.
Georgia Governor Nathan Deal.
Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In our Earth's 600 years of or 6,000 years of history, that is.
Yeah. That was very young Earth.
Yes, exactly. You know what? I like to go strong. I like to go hard. What can I say? Yep. Mankind has been tantalized by many a mind-boggling mystery. The Great Pyramids of Egypt, Mexico, and Las Vegas. The Shroud of Turin. The Bermuda Triangle, Nicolas Cage's career, all of these things. But to that rarefied list, may we now add what is quite possibly the most important mystery of them all. America's Stonehenge itself, the Georgia Guidestones.
I ran out of breath.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You're the only person who plays a mouth theremin, so...
Yeah, I'm much like my swimming, my theremin is a sprint, not a marathon. Yeah.
Okay, so you may ask yourself, what are these guidestones of which I speak? And I didn't even know about these things until a couple weeks ago. I was doing a thing on Thank God I'm Atheist, and I was listening to Mark Taylor, who is the fireman prophet. Have you heard of this guy?
No. Fireman prophet?
He was a fireman in Texas, I think, somewhere in the South, some worthless part of this country again.
Oh, God. We're going to get in so much trouble. Yes, go on.
We are. Sorry about it, guys.
Yeah.
We're only playing mostly.
I got so much shit for our attacks on Kentucky, and deservedly so.
Yes,
last
indeed.
week.
You were a little rough.
Yeah.
Anywho, this guy, there's even a movie about him. God Awful Movies did a takedown of it a ways back. But this guy is a conspiracy nut. He's one of the proponents of this sort of idea that there's a new world order and that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are all part of a child molestation ring that's run by George Soros.
Right, and Jews.
The Jews. We're getting there. Don't worry, they'll come. But he's one of these guys. But he also, I mean, his origin story is that he was a firefighter and he started having dreams and realized, oh shit, I'm a fucking prophet. These are dreams that God has given me, and now I know the future. And never mind the fact that most of his prophecies, if he bothers to get specific at all, as with all prophets, psychics, mediums, various and sundry, they don't come true. But then he has reasons why, they actually did come true, but then it was covered over by the Illuminati or whatever. Anyway, he at one point is spouting off on some random bunch of bullshit and mentions the Georgia Guidestones. And I'm like, the what stones? What could that possibly be? Well, let me tell you what it is, fellas. 20 feet tall, giant monolithic blocks of granite. Imagine, if you will, 4 foot wide, 19 foot tall, 4 of these pillars, and probably 8 inches thick, just really huge blocks of granite, onto which are sort of arranged in a sort of pinwheel. They're all sort of perpendicular to each other and facing inward, and then there's a center column, and then a capstone that touches all of them. And this thing is set up, as I said, in a cow pasture in Georgia, near literally nothing. It is 90 miles away from Atlanta, something like 40 miles away from Athens. That's the closest real city. They're in Elbert County. And people come from miles around to see it, mostly because if anybody sees it, they came from miles around. There's nothing even close. Anyway, what you have on this thing, it's inscribed in 8 languages with 10, not commandments, but 10 rules, a vision for Earth and the future.
Okay.
And I will read them to you. But and you should know that it's inscribed in English. I fucking love. At some point, somebody chose all of the things that I'm about to tell you. People talked, probably multiple people, we don't know for sure, talked to each other, and they specifically and on purpose chose everything that you're about to hear.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind.
I'm ready.
They're in English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian.
All right.
On different faces of these 4 stones. So you got 2 faces on each stone.
Right.
So there's your 8. Basically, here we go. And you guys stop me if you hear anything that you think might be a little bit wonky. I think we'll sail through this. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Do Russian.
Number 1. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. No problems there.
I've got bad news.
We have blown past that, but that's fine.
Pretty easy. Obviously, we all agree with that one.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Well, the 3 of us, the 3 of us are doing our part for that.
So right. Yes, exactly.
We have not contributed at all.
Uncling rather than fathering is at least, we're at least trying our best.
Yeah.
Number 2, and these are not numbered, they're just sort of listed. Here we go.
Stacked.
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity.
Okay, so that's eugenics. That's creepy.
These sound like these were written in one of those other 8 languages and translated into English.
It sounds like that. Probably not, but it sounds like that. Here we go. 3, unite humanity with a living new language. Sound like anything? Maybe a Deseret language. Who knows?
Yeah.
Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. I actually kind of like that one.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's
a little
the least
Vulcan.
crazy.
A little on the Vulcan side, but good. I'm
at least crazy so far.
I'm down with it. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
Okay. It doesn't sound poetic. It sounds reasonable.
And obvious. Right. Like painfully, stupidly obvious.
Right.
It's kind of Zodiac level piffle.
Yeah.
Right?
Here we go. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Now, if you know conspiracy theories... you know that
is the Jewiest thing you could say.
That set up some alarm bells.
That showed up on the Richter scale.
Yeah, right.
Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Well, wouldn't we all like that?
Bit general, but sure.
Yeah, exactly. And who gets to decide? Well, that's a question. Then balance personal rights with social duties. Okay,
sure. That's good.
Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. So now we're getting fucking hippy-dippy.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, number 10.
We're getting to the good stuff.
Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
Fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Does it say it twice?
It does say it twice. Yeah.
Did they run out of room for a third time?
Yeah, they did. No, there was actually plenty of room. So there you go.
So these sound, they're kind of fortune cookie type pearls of wisdom.
Okay. Some of them are.
I Googled it.
Uh-huh.
I Googled it, and I agree. It's kind of fortune cookie wisdom. If Moses had the physical fortitude to carry these down the hill, they are, I'm looking at dimensions, they're 16 feet 4 inches tall, 1.7 feet thick, and 6.5 feet wide. So, anyway, had Moses been able to lug these down the hill, I think we'd be in better shape. They're kind of not so shitty as the 10.
They are, they're. At least 4 of them aren't wasted on the God thing. But yeah, we've got eugenics in there. That's a bit of a problem. It is a problematic thing.
That's a fair point. Yeah. These are better than the 10 Commandments, but so are the rules to Chutes and Ladders. It's a low fucking bar.
Well, at least the 10 Commandments had stuff that we can all mostly agree on. Don't kill, don't steal. Those things are pretty easy.
Same with Chutes and Ladders.
But I don't know that we can all agree on unite humanity with a living new language. You know what I mean? Can we all agree on 500 million being our max out point? We're at close to 8 billion, right?
Yeah, were these put in place when there were only 500 million people?
1970s, my friends. No. This is something that showed up. We have a story behind it. It was erected, I guess, in the 80s, in 1980 itself. And the story is very interesting, and boy, it just feeds into the conspiracy nuts mindset so perfectly.
Boy!
You will get kicked off of this show if you do that ever again. In 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian came into the Elberton Granite Finishing Company. And are you okay?
I am.
Okay. Doug has spilled some water.
I had a little spill, but we're good.
Okay.
He got excited when you say granite finishing.
Yeah.
He tends to have a reaction.
So apparently the one thing that area actually has is a lot of granite. And so apparently they went not to a place that could bring granite to them, but they just went to the granite and said, "Hey, do you mind? I represent a group of people," this guy says, "who want to create this monument. Money is no object. What do you say?" And the guy thought that that he was a nutball, so he said some outrageous figure, to which the man agreed, and they got it all set up. And nobody still to this day knows who the fuck this guy was, or if he was representing a group, or if it was just his fever dream ramblings being put into etched into marble.
What year did Brewster's Millions come out?
Right.
Was it 1980?
Brewster's Millions. Jesus. The toy.
No, remember the plot was he had to spend money needlessly.
Right, yes, that's right.
Oh,
that's funny. Yeah, he had to spend all of the millions.
Well, this looks like a good project to spend needlessly on.
Right. So the guy did it. They built the damn thing on this weird plot of land that has, and it is surrounded by cow pasture. That's not me lying.
Yeah.
And then and there it is. And now it's just left to the ages. So far, nobody has claimed responsibility for it, but lots of people have claimed to really know the true story.
What does Alex Jones have to say about it?
Right? I'll bet you he's talked about it. I didn't find an Alex Jones.
It's making our monuments gay.
The cows around it. They're going to be gay. There is apparently a time capsule buried underneath it that is to be opened. There are explicit instructions that there is a time capsule buried beneath it, and that time capsule is to be opened on, and then it's blank. So
is that like the castle?
Yeah, exactly.
That's our new Patreon goal. That clearly is. Your uncles are supposed to go dig up the time capsule.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it says placed 6 feet below this spot on blank to be opened on blank.
It's the direct to cable National Treasure sequel.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It is. It is. Poor Nicolas Cage's next film is just slowly pickaxing his way underneath the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah. So this giant thing. So here's where people are going with this thing, because you can read about just sort of what it is, but it's not. It doesn't really sing until you read about what it means to people, to the crazies. There's nothing more tantalizing to them than than a mystery. And so, yes, it's tied into, obviously, the New World Order,
right?
Because it's got this whole, because it mentions a world court,
yeah, and a world language,
and a new world language. And what's funny, as I researched this, and as I researched the conspiracy theories, because you do something like this, and you start tumbling down rabbit holes left and right, is that the conspiracy theorists just have a different fucking outlook on everything. And so, in the same category, under the umbrella of these are the people who are trying to destroy the world for the rest of us, and especially to destroy Christianity. You got the New World Order, you got the Illuminati, you got the UN. We'll talk a bit about the Rosicrucians.
Yes,
which we should get on. We should do a whole segment on at some point.
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood is involved, of course, because we got the eugenics and whatever. The Freemasons, the UN, and environmentalists.
Right.
So for some reason, when they hear someone saying "protect the Earth," what they hear is destroy Christianity,
right,
and destroy our way of life, and also somehow it's only the Jews that want this. So. And they're bad.
Then I guess what they're tacitly admitting is that Christianity wants to destroy the earth, right?
It seems that way, or rather that So one of the things that I have heard is that Christians who believe in this shit believe that there's no way we could destroy the earth because God has ordained it for our use, and so you can't destroy it. You can't do anything to it. Nothing bad can happen. God gave it to us. So, roll coal as hard as you want.
Coal!
Because nothing bad can happen.
Why'd he give us coal?
Right?
If he didn't want us to use
exactly.
it. If he gave us coal, why are there still monkeys?
There's also... There's also some interesting hippy-dippy shit associated with these stones, including some astronomical stuff.
I was going to ask.
There's a channel through the center stone that indicates the celestial pole. There's a horizontal slot that indicates the annual travel of the sun. So a sunbeam through the capstone marks noon throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And apparently there's a hole that's drilled through that, like, at nighttime, if you look through the hole, it's theoretically always pointed at the the North Star. I'm not sure if that's a real possibility. But it doesn't seem right.
I don't think the North Star is in geosynchronous orbit.
No,
it is. But it's
not in orbit.
But it stays constant.
It's about 10 light years pretty much directly above the North Pole.
Right, exactly.
So that's why it actually stays fairly constant in the northern hemisphere sky.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. But it does travel through, like, we still spin, so I guess, I guess it doesn't really. No, I don't know.
But
Maybe
it
works.
But let's be clear. This is not like some miraculous. It's not like the Druids built this thing with all of their knowledge.
Well, no, but like we now have a lot more astronomical knowledge, so this kind of shit's.
Yeah, there's the North Star. I'm going to drill a hole right there.
You got to do the calculations, but then you can do it.
Yeah.
And they did. They bothered to do all of this stuff. So,
but you know what, Dan, you were saying that this thing is clearly mostly defined by the people whom it drives mad.
Yes.
And if you Google the Georgia Guidestones, many of the pictures you will see are of a lot of vandalism to this thing.
That's true.
Yeah,
it has been defaced many times.
Well, that's how you stick it to the Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is that there are people who go to this thing. It has attracted a whole lot of people who are there because they think it's brilliant. So there are hippie dippies, there are, Wiccans that go to it. There are all of these people that do, various rituals around it. Oh. Basically, it's catnip for anybody who has crazy, magical thinking. It is, it's set up so well.
It's bringing people together.
And
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I mentioned the Rosicrucians, and there's a reason that I mentioned them. Because you'll recall that I said that the name of the guy who commissioned this thing, he called himself Robert C. Christian, or R.C. Christian.
Which, Lordy.
Christian R.C. is the name of the guy who theoretically founded the Rosicrucians. There is, all of this, it's... I want to make a conspiracy... I want to make a thing like this as a practical joke against these guys, because this was done so beautifully. And now they talk about, like I said, Mark Taylor, who introduced me to this idea, was talking about it as though this is the guidepost for how the New World Order wants to go about creating the universe, this world for the future.
This is typical of huge, totally underground, Hydra-level conspiracies.
Right.
That what they do is they leave their instruction manual in 16-foot high slabs of granite next to a highway in Georgia. That's just how it's done.
Yeah.
That's how secrets are kept.
In Espanol.
By the way, I don't know where you got 16 feet, but I've got 19 feet 3 inches total height.
Well, clearly there's some disagreement about this, Dan.
There is.
Yeah.
So you listeners, you will have to go to Georgia and measure them yourselves.
Is it metric versus imperial? Because that's another.
Right. That's right. It's in nautical miles.
Is it Jew inches versus Christ inches? And there's literally a picture. There's literally a picture online of the crane and a bunch of guys with ladders putting the fucking capstone on the thing. It's not like a crop circle. You can see the guys actually doing it.
Yeah, I mean, this did not appear in some mysterious way, but still, nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows why it is, and it's being used for only good and never evil all throughout the land.
Yeah. Well,
so there you have it. It is
I think we found something else to worship.
It's the Guidestones. Let them guide your life. See what happens. Who knows? Kill 9/10 of the world population and see what happens. It'll be
in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Moving on.
All right, let's move on.
Gentlemen,
hello.
What?
I don't know if you know this, but we put this show of ours out into the ether, and we don't charge money for it. It's free.
Nope, not a dime.
But sometimes people are like, hey, you know what? I've been enjoying this for a minute. I think I'm going to give them some of my hard-earned cash.
Oh.
And then they do so. So we have some folks, some beautiful people to thank. They are our favorite of all of the people.
The best people.
And so let's dive into that. We got to thank Catherine. We got to thank Vote for the Biggest D You Can Find.
Yep.
It's Doug.
Good friend of ours.
There you go. We got Uncle Doug.
Oh.
I'm going to make you do a saint.
Oh, shit.
For our friend Devin.
Devin. Okay. Devin, your saint is Saint Vlad of his namesake Vladivostok.
Okay.
He is the patron saint of vitamin deficiencies, poorly written LinkedIn bios, and salted herring.
Oh, yummy.
Wow.
Yummy.
Boy, everybody loves all of those things. So great. Congratulations, Devin. That's an amazing treat for you. We also need to thank Eyjafjallajökull. Fuck, I fucked it up. I was going to do it right. Eyjafjallajökull, the Icelandic volcano. Who is now donating to us. Thank you very much.
Not our first volcanic patron, I have to say.
No, we got a few various and sundry seismic givers.
A bit of a volcanic panic,
and not our last.
Yeah, we always appreciate when geologic events can donate.
Phenomena.
To the show. Thanks so much to John and Uncle Mark. I'm going to give you the job of giving a saint to a good friend Rod.
Oh, well, this is very exciting. A dear old friend Rod that finally fucking stepped up, if I may say so. So, who's been enjoying the show for quite a long time.
Spending all his money on beard oil.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, what's very obvious is Rod's patron saint is Saint Jerry of Flatpoint, who is the patron saint of hot fruit, the pole and the hole, glint, and most infamously the Liberty Bell. So congratulations, Rod.
Thanks, Rod.
It's high time you got that kind of love and protection from on high.
Indeed. And if you'd like the gentle listener to pray to your own personal saint, or get a heaven for yourself for your afterlife, or just to show your uncles that you appreciate what we do, you are welcome to go to our website, howtoheretic.com, and click on the Patreon button. And
Actually, it's the support us button. We've been misnaming it. It's the support us button, not the Patreon button.
God damn it, Mark! I don't give a fuck what the button is.
But that's why we've been eating baked beans this entire time.
Are we going to do this on the fucking
I
air
want
right
some
now?
bacon.
Is this happening right now? Are we going to argue? We talked about this in the meeting. Sorry, I'm fine.
Anywho,
yeah.
Find any. You know what? Go to our webpage and just click anything, and then start throwing money at it. Whatever it is. Throw your cash at the screen. Hopefully, we'll get it.
Throw your Deseret ducats right at the screen.
That's right. Yeah. And thanks so much to everybody. Please do so. If you can't do that, go ahead and give us 5 stars on your various and sundry places.
A galaxy of stars. A galaxy of stars to illuminate the dark night of your uncle's soul.
Yeah, something along those lines. Let's move on. Uncle Mark.
Hello.
I need life lessons. If there's one thing that I need, I need, but I'm not a visual learner. I need to be told.
Right. Well, we've talked about certain things in your life, like when it's appropriate to open your pants in public. I think we got through that one.
So wait, and the answer was not always? Because
the judge was The judge was very helpful.
The answer is always in the elevator.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, of course, always in the elevator.
Yeah, exactly.
Never on the escalator, because if you trip, I don't care to say what's going to happen.
Once bitten, twice shy.
That's called a circumcision right there. And
that's right. So
we don't need that. So let's move. But maybe, Uncle Doug, do you have a good story to tell, a yarn to spin?
I thought that once again we could dive into the source fountain of Christianity.
Do you mean all of society's
that's right.
Morality?
Where all our morals come from.
That's right.
All our laws. This segment we originally named Parabullshit, but which you cleverly renamed The Terrible Parables.
Yes, indeed.
So remember, as we dive into this segment, that according to the Gospels and all of Christianity, this is the pure, uncut doctrine of the Son of God himself, the Yahweh that goes all the way, the Shaddai of Shade, the Jehovah before he knows you, Jesus Horatio Christ. We're done. That's it.
Good. You literally just chose this so that you could have done, so you could ramble that.
And
off.
I can't do it again because I can't just repeat material. So
nope. Yeah, Thank God. That one's spent.
So this parable we're going to talk about today only appears in 2 of the 4 Gospels, Matthew and Luke. And as is my way, a quick side note that none of these parables appear in John, and that Luke predates Matthew. So we're going to read them chronologically. That means Luke first, then Matthew.
Okay.
So
for those following at home.
Yes, exactly.
The parable for today is the parable of the lost sheep, a.k.a. the parable of the Good Shepherd.
Okay.
This is an extremely popular parable because, among other things, it is short. And by my ironclad rule of Scripture, shorter is empirically better.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So also,
and who doesn't love stories about sheep?
That's right. Also, it is one of the most iconic images in the Gospels outside of the crucifixion. That is, of course, Jesus carrying a little sheep, either in his arms or over his shoulder or over his neck.
Yeah.
What they don't ever show is that right out of frame there is a stew pot.
Also, it is one of the most important references to shepherding in the New Testament. And although shepherding and shepherd activities are very important to Christians, it doesn't really pop up that often in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, it's mostly in reference to actual shepherds.
Yeah.
And it's only mentioned a few times as an allegorical theme, and this is one of them. So today we're going to be reading from the New International Version of the Bible.
The NIT.
Yes, the NIT. This parable is apparently part of a trilogy of parables regarding redemption. The trilogy also includes the parable of the lost coin and the parable of the prodigal son.
Okay.
One problem, the other 2 parables in this important meditation on redemption and forgiveness that God himself spoke about for all of us to learn from only appear in Luke.
Right.
So that seems to water down the importance of all of this.
No, it magnifies it.
So, like I said, it's not long, so let's dive in. This is Luke 15:4-6.
Okay.
Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99? Correct. Ding.
All right, moving on.
Fuck, I was late on the
buzzer. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbors together and says, "Rejoice with me, I have found my lost sheep." Bonk.
I left the other 99 to be stolen.
Now I've lost 14 more.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. So let's bounce to Matthew 18:11-13.
That's the whole thing?
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Okay, good.
Again, great.
Yeah.
More of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Matthew 18.
Shorter Bible is better Bible.
All I'm saying is that enough hay has been made out of this fucking parable.
Right.
That does not seem like a sufficient quantity of bullshit to even make any hay out of it.
Exactly. I think the message is awful and it's very distilled. So we'll get to that. Let's do Matthew 18:11-13.
Please do.
What do you think? If a man owns 100 sheep and one of them wanders away, will he not leave the 99 on the hills and go look for the one that wandered off? And if he finds it, truly I tell you, he is happier about that one sheep than about the 99 that did not wander off.
Okay.
No, wait.
Which Star Trek was it?
Oh, don't you step on my fucking punchline.
Oh, okay.
All I'm going to say,
you up one side.
All I'm going to say is, at some point, we're going to see Ray Comfort hold up a sheep and go, "Behold, the atheist nightmare."
So as Uncle Mark tried to steal my material, and as Captain Spock himself said, while dying in the dilithium chamber of the Enterprise as the Genesis planet was being formed from the dust of the Mutara Nebula and the wreckage of the Reliant, including the remains of Khan Noonien Singh himself, he said the immortal words, "The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one."
Right.
I do not take that back. I stand by that paragraph, and I didn't even have to Google a goddamn thing.
I believe you 100%, and I won't say that it's sad because I know a bunch of our listeners are like we're nodding in pleasant agreement the entire time.
Doug loves the Star Treks.
So I'm not a shepherd, and I know that will come as a shock to many of our listeners. But this seems odd to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I leave my 99 helpless, stupid sheep
Right.
to go looking for a lost one, can't a pack of predators do a lot more damage in my absence than the possibility of losing that one sheep?
Not only that, but like, okay, in your own story, sheep are apparently prone to wander.
Yeah.
So if you go and now again, yes, we're not shepherds. We don't know. But it does seem like you leave the whole thing and go and find the other one, you're just begging to lose more sheep.
Right.
No matter how it plays out, you're just begging for that.
Of course.
And
nobody that knows anything about money or things would ever think that's what you do.
Yeah.
Right? You have a haystack of $100 bills, but you drop a nickel down a fucking storm drain. So
And you're like,
find a way to get down the storm drain to get the nickels, and then when you get back and the haystack is gone,
or
good job.
Or when you get back and the haystack is still there, you love that nickel the most.
Right. And that's
right.
in the Matthew version where he says he is happier about that one sheep than the other 99. That seems immoral to me.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the,
Yes.
so like okay, what we've done is we've shredded in our view, in our non-shepherd view, the literal idea of the story. So let's dig into the parable idea of the story.
Right.
What are we supposed to mean by this? Because I can't think of a way. I know how I've heard preachers twist it,
Yeah.
but it still doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and it's I guess it's the value of a single soul.
Right.
Which is okay, but why does the other 99 why are they diminished in value?
right. I mean,
See,
so
this is James Tiberius Kirk saying that the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many. No, truly.
Yeah.
Which is also supposed to have kind of the same moral value.
or at least
Right,
or an emotional value, if not an objectively moral one,
Right.
or something. But like
Right.
theoretically, God should be above the emotional value.
Yeah.
God should. So like to say, look, okay, we're saying lost sheep here. I'm gonna say that the metaphor is someone strays from belief in God or strays from the church or something. Then
That's
when they
right,
come
yeah.
back, when you get them again, that's all the sweeter because you lost them and then you have them again.
Right.
But fuck you! There are all these people who are working very hard to stay in it,
Yeah.
who are towing the line, and then and they mean nothing. They mean less to you than that one person.
It's the same twisted morality of the prodigal son, which we'll talk about another time, but that he's happier about his son who came back from disbelief than he is about his son who stayed.
Right.
And that's what this is like.
Right.
Well, what incentive do I have to stay?
Right.
And I should go and have my Rumspringa.
Right.
And when I come back, you're going to be happier about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't, and I guess, obviously we're not supposed to take this literally, right?
Well,
it's a metaphor.
We're not supposed to,
And
worry about losing sheep.
to you, imaginary Christian apologists, I suggest you reach out to Ken Ham in 2005 and talk him out of the Ark encounter.
Right.
I mean, it's. I don't get it, and it's such an iconic image of Jesus carrying this one sheep, but he's left the fucking flock vulnerable.
Yeah, and
But it's about what matters is the adhering to and the enforcement of orthodoxy, right?
yeah,
It's that if somebody ever strays outside the tribe, any effort to get them back is worth it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sacrifice you make to get them back.
yeah, better to
And if you sacrifice the entire the health and safety or whatever and welfare of the entire flock, what's most important is to never let anybody stray from belief.
Yeah, I suppose.
well, and it's that. I don't know. It's so weird to me, and the whole sheep shepherd thing, which gets hit so often in the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
It's
really bothers me.
It's really sexy. It's really sexy.
Well, I mean, to me, it's like this thing of like, Does anybody want to point out that you're comparing yourselves to sheep?
Right.
Who need a shepherd?
Right.
There's no autonomy. There's no sense of it's always you are sheep or you are the children of God. There's all of this language that infantilizes and diminishes the abilities and thinking and processing of the individual person.
Well, the entire enterprise is to snuff out individuality, right? Like Christ is a fisher of men, and so the shepherd thing is just part and parcel of that. You can't have an intense religious orthodoxy with a lot of free thinkers.
Well, and isn't it funny that in point of view is so important. I read this and thought it was, when I was young and religious, I'm like, wow, that's amazing that God would, find me in the darkness and all this stuff. And now I read it and it's like, this is morally problematic.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah.
How do you not see that this is a terrible thing to be teaching people?
Yeah. Well, there you go. The Lord, once again,
pearls of wisdom,
just giving us the straight dope.
Back to the show.
Let's move on.
We made it we were so close to making it out without that, but now let's move on before it happens again.
Well, friends, that's it for this week's show.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, howto@howtoheretic.com.
Or if you have a new sort of sheep math, you can tell us about it on voicemail at 903-88-HOW-TO, which is 903-884-6986. You can also find me on Twitter @HowToHeretic.
Yeah, do it in the Deseret alphabet. Anyway, thanks so much to our patrons.
And thanks to Cody Layton for editing the show.
And thank you, dear friends, for tuning in.
Bye, friends.
Couldn't do it without Cha.